These notes are on finding the point of intersection of two functions. The two functions I'm going to deal with here are a linear function, f of x equals 1/3 x minus 5, and a quadratic function, g of x equals x squared minus 10. So the first thing I need to do is I need to graph the two functions. These are explicit functions, so if you need to go back and look at the notes for the graphing explicit functions, please do. I'm going to run through it pretty quickly. So I have my y equals, I have 1 divided by 3. Actually, let's use parentheses just to make sure that the calculator does the order of operations correctly. So 1/3 times x minus 5. Up till now, I've generally only entered one function, but I can actually enter as many as I want. And the screen here gives me 9, but I can scroll down to up to 10 of them. So I need to enter the second function, which is x squared minus 10. I'm now going to press the graph button just to see what these two functions actually look like. So there's my linear, there's my f of x, and there's my quadratic, g of x. And in this case, I can see that actually these two functions have 2 points of intersection. Somewhere over here where x is around 3, and somewhere over here where x is around -2. However, estimating is not what I actually want the calculator to do in this case, so I'm going to actually have it find me as close to exact values as it can. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press second trace, and the reason that I'm pressing that is because that gets me to the screen that says calculate. I'm trying to calculate something. In this case, I'm trying to calculate the places where things intersect. So I'm going to scroll down or press 5. Now the calculator walks me through these various steps. It asks me, my first question being, is this the first curve that I want it to pay attention to? And I'm going to say, yes, I want it to pay attention to y1. That's my linear function. So I'm going to press enter. Then it says, is this the second curve? Is the y2 the second curve? Remember, I can put in more than one function at a time, up to 10 in fact. So the reason that it's asking this is because it wants to verify that I am asking it which 2 to pay attention to. So if I had 10 on the screen, I would be specifying which 2 to pay attention to out of the 10. So I'm going to press enter again. And then it says, do I care to guess? I generally don't ever care to guess, so I just simply press enter again. And you'll see that at this point, it's given me a value right here where the cursor is blinking. And so one of the points of intersection occurs at approximately -2.1, -5.7. Now, in this case, the values are approximate because they're giving me decimals, and the decimals aren't terminating. I don't see a pattern, they continue, and so I have to give an approximate. There's no exact value there. I now need to find the second one. We found the first one, it's over here, and we need to find the second one over here. I'm going to go through this exact same process with one slight difference. So, second, calculate, press 5 for intersect. Now, right now the cursor is on the first curve. That's great, that's what I want. But the cursor is actually on the point of intersection, or pretty close to it. I don't want to see this intersection, I want to see this one. So I actually need to tell my calculator, sure, I want that curve, but I want it further over here next to the second point of intersection. That way the calculator kind of is, not only am I on the right curve, but I'm in the ballpark of the point I'm looking for. So my cursor's over there, closer to the second point. I already have that first point, don't need to get it again. And it is the correct curve, so I press enter. Now the cursor is on the second curve that I want to pay attention to. And it is pretty close to the point of intersection. Maybe I'll move over just a little bit more so that I'm sure to be on the right one. You'll notice when I move over, the cursor is paying attention to the x values. That's what the moving over means, is moving on the x values. So going from an x value that's a 1 closer to an x value that's 2. Pressing up and down changes the curve I'm on. So I know it's a little confusing because a parabola, you're thinking that if I move to the right, I'm going up. But we're actually, the cursor is talking about literally moving to the right or left on the graph. So I am now set up so that I have my second curve and I'm pretty close to the second point of intersection. So I press enter. Again, it asks me if I care to guess. I don't, so I press enter again. And now I have my second point of intersection, which again is an approximate. It's not exact. It's approximately 2.4 comma negative 4.2. So there are my 2 points of intersection for these two functions. One question that I often get when talking about the finding the point of intersection is that the calculator calls them curves. And the reason the calculator does this is because the only functions that have a straight line are the linear functions. But we have all these other functions out there that don't graph as a straight line. So the calculator uses the word curve to be generic. Curve meaning any shape that you can graph on the calculator.